Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So, as if things couldn't get any worse for the Indiana Pacers, I guess we were wrong. T.J McConnell is injured, out for a month with a hamstring injury. And honestly, the way this whole thing kind of unfolded kind of just sucks. Obviously, T.J McConnell got injured and now is out for a month. DeLon Wright had a head-to-head collision with another player, was bleeding, and then I feel bad for DeLon Wright because they waived him, like, right after. And then we signed Cameron Payne, which I'm not a huge fan of Cam Payne. I mean, he's okay. He's all right. Like, he's a serviceable backup, but he's not, like, a guy I'm calling home about, you know what I'm saying? So it definitely made things a little complicated. You know, I honestly, like, I'm a little worried now that, like, we're going to start the season off a little rough. Only because now the bench unit doesn't have T.J. McConnell. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, like, we can talk about the difference between point guards and, like, Andrew Nembhard and Tyrese Haliburton, but T.J. McConnell really makes that second unit go. He's what makes it special. Like, I hate to say that, and I'm not taking anything away from Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin plays very well. T.J. McConnell and Obi Toppin are the biggest reason our bench unit was as good as it was last year, and is as good as it is. But the problem is, now that you don't have T.J. McConnell, you don't really have a guy, like, pushing the pace. You know what I'm saying? Like, T.J. McConnell gets out, and he, like, runs a million miles a minute. He's all over the floor. He, like, runs around and underneath the basket, and then he has this little, like, 10-foot jump shot he likes to shoot. You know, he's really, like, just pure energy. And I feel like not having that for a month could, you know, pose problems. I'm not saying that Cameron Payne can't do that. That's not who he is. You know what I'm saying? As far as, like, DeLon Wright, yeah, DeLon Wright is a good, you know, secondary point guard, but, you know, he's not there anymore, so we really don't have to worry about him. It just sucks that he got cut the way that he did. But it's just the idea. I'm now a little weary. Only because I just feel like it's going to be a rough start to the season. I just do. Like, I was a little confident that, like, okay, like, even if the starters don't play great, at least they still have T.J. McConnell, and, like, at least the bench unit is still the bench unit, you know? Now that's not the case anymore. Now it's, okay, we don't have T.J. McConnell for a month. So I don't even know how great the bench unit's going to be to start out. You know what I'm saying? I hope it's good. You know, like, there's certain aspects. Honestly, I was really hoping that they would just sign Quentin Jackson. Like, instead of going out and, like, getting all the, like, DeLon Wright and Cameron Payne, like, Quentin Jackson, I think, is good enough to run point guard for the second unit. I like Quentin Jackson a lot. Like, I think he's just like T.J. McConnell, only significantly younger. Like, he just brings that high energy, high motor type of guy. He's fearless, you know what I'm saying? Like, Quentin Jackson brings that type of vibe to the team. And So, like, that's why I was just kind of like, I don't know why they didn't just sign Q-Jax and just run with that, because I actually think he's pretty good. They also have Ray J. Dennis, who, is playing well in preseason, but we have a lot of point guards on the roster. It just, like, it seems like the front office doesn't trust them, you know? So, I don't know. I really don't know what the outcome's going to be, but it's just, like, you know, at a time where Haliburton's injured and we really are, like, not sure how the season's going to go, for T.J. McConnell to also get injured, it just sucks. Granted, we're kind of lucky it's only a month, but with hamstring injuries, you never know, right? Like, with hamstring injuries, it could be, you know, LeBron has groin injuries and is out for months. You know, people have hamstring injuries and they're out for months because they keep re-aggravating it, or, you know, so that's why I'm just like, you know, this really sucks, and I hope that T.J. McConnell recovers quickly, just because what T.J. McConnell brings to the bench unit really can't be replaced. I know we say that about Tyrese Haliburton, and it's easy to just say that. Like, it's easy to just say, oh yeah, what T.J. McConnell brings to our bench unit is just can't be replaced. But it legitimately fucking can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, what Tyrese Haliburton brings to an offense literally cannot be replaced. But you can say the same exact thing about T.J. McConnell, because he's the best bench point guard in the league. Regardless of who's out there right now, it's widely believed that T.J. McConnell is the best bench point guard in the league, and there's a reason for that. He's just a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just goes a million miles a minute. He pushes the offense. He gets guys open. He gets guys in their spots, and that's something that you can't replace. You can try to teach it, but it sucks. It sucks that this happened, and T.J. McConnell is actually like one of my favorite Pacers. Like, he might as well be the favorite Pacer that I have. I remember years ago I thought T.J. McConnell was great, and like when we first got T.J. McConnell, it seemed like people really didn't like him because he didn't play defense, he didn't shoot threes, but he was high energy, and that's what I liked about him. And still, it's a gripe about his game to this day. T.J. McConnell's not an amazing defender, but he's gotten better at it. Same thing with shooting threes. He's not amazing at shooting threes, but he has somewhat gotten better at it. It's just the idea, like, I'm just worried we're going to start the season off really rough, and if we start the season off rough, where like we're losing more games than we're winning, it's going to be very, very hard to come out of that hole. I understand we did it last year, but we also had Tyrese Haliburton last year. After the All-Star break, everything started clicking for Ty, and as a result, everything started clicking for everybody else. So it's just, I worry that if we get off to a bad start, and we get too negative record-wise, like instead of 10-15, maybe, I don't know, you don't even have like 10 wins like a quarter way through the season, that could be a problem. Now, I don't think that's going to be the case, because I do think our team is better than that, but it's just the idea. Now you have a lot of changing variables. Now you have no Tyrese Haliburton, but now you also don't have the second best point guard on your team in T.J. McConnell, which makes your bench unit what it is. So I don't know, man. I'm starting to get concerned a little bit. I want to be confident in Andrew Nembhard. I'm hoping he proves me wrong. It's just Andrew Nembhard is just a guy that I'm like, I believe in him. Like, I believe he can play point guard. I believe that he can do it efficiently. It's just, I don't know if he's going to. That's my biggest issue with not T.J. McConnell, with Andrew Nembhard running point, is just like most of what Andrew Nembhard has done since he's been on the team and entered the league is, pretty much be a catch and shoot, like 3-and-D defender type of guy. He doesn't really get to the basket that well. Most of Andrew Nembhard's shots are 3-pointers and mid-range jumpers. They're not really layups. He can create his own shot, but he's not a guy that's creative with getting to the basket. Based on what I saw in the last preseason game, Andrew Nembhard is, he's capable. It's just, a lot of times he'll get the ball, bring the ball up, and the offense just kind of stops. Like nobody's setting screens for him to get open, and it just the turnover, like his ability to handle the basketball concerns me a little bit as well. And obviously these are things that will get better with time. I'm not like completely down on him. It's just there's a lot of work that needs to be done. That's simply what I'm saying. Like, I believe Andrew Nembhard can do it. I truly believe he's capable of it. It's just, it's going to be rough to start out, I feel. I feel like this season, I know a lot of people want to like say, oh, well, we're going to, like, I saw somebody the other day post online, a Pacers fan, they're like, oh, we're going to win 52 games. Stop it. We're not winning 52 games, okay? We'll maybe win 40, like we'll maybe be in that low to mid 40 mark, but 52 is like, you're banking we're going to be one of the best playoff teams in the East. And honestly, with the way our season's going to start out, like with the injuries that we got to McConnell and Haliburton, I just don't know if that's like in the cards. So obviously, we've doubted the team before. Other, analysts have doubted the team before, and they've proved us wrong. But it's just the idea, like, I understand the team enjoys being underdogs, but at the same time, I'm just like, how much can you lose before we finally admit, like, this is going to affect the way we play? And that's what I've been kind of wondering with everybody, like with all Pacers fans that have been like it's good to be confident in your team. And I understand that's part of being a sports fan. But at the same time, when do we acknowledge that losing McConnell for a month and losing Haliburton for the entire season will, in fact, affect the win-loss column? So, I don't know, man. We'll see. I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but it's just the idea. It's a concern now. Like, now things are a little bit concerning. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the season starts. Obviously, season starts in like 2 weeks. So we'll see what happens. You know what? I'm confident in everybody else on the roster, and that's the good part is like, Siakam is still good. I think Mathurin's going to take some strides forward this year. We still got Toppin, who's still really good. We still got Nesmith, who's very good. And even the center thing, like that's the other part of this, right? Like it's like we don't have Miles Turner anymore. And now we got 3 guys that are basically fighting it out in preseason to see who's going to start at center, and we don't know what the result is going to be. We don't know if it's going to be Jay Huff or Isaiah Jackson or James Wiseman. I know the depth chart reads Isaiah Jackson, but at the same time, it's like you never know. We don't even know what we're going to get out of the center position, and that's a big concern as well. That's going to affect the win-loss column. So it's just the idea. There's a lot of variables that have changed with this team just in this past year, or just over the summer since the end of the playoffs, and I'm just very, very I can't even tell you how many games I think the team would win, because I'm just like, I feel like whatever number I give you is just like it's a speculative number that really doesn't have enough to go by for me to make like a solid concrete, we're gonna win. Like, I think if I had to take a guess, we'll win like 42 games. But it's just the idea, a lot of things can change. A lot of things can change in that time, over the course of the season and even during preseason. Like, they could decide they don't want to start Isaiah Jackson at center. They want to start James Wiseman or fucking Tony Bradley. I don't know. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But, T.J McConnell getting injured was not something we needed. T.J McConnell brings a lot to the table that no other bench point guard in the league does. And at some point, man, these injuries are going to rack up and affect the win-loss column at some point. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.